Hey, you guys, that we are going to start our brand new podcast.
It's very exciting.
Very exciting. It's the Mock and Daisy Common Sense Cast, and you can already subscribe to it on, I know for sure, iTunes, but you'll be also able to subscribe to it on like all the platforms.
All the time.
All of them. In fact, some that I've never even heard of, but because Radio America sent us a list, and I was like, wow, we're going to be everywhere.
That's a thing? Yeah.
So we're recording our first one today. I don't know when it'll be posted, but it should be this week for sure. So that's happening today. And one of the things I think that we're going to talk about today is this era that we live in of political correctness. And a perfect example of that is something that we talked about in our book and something that we're about to talk about. And that is how just basic politeness and chivalry and kindness are disappearing because feminists think that you can no longer say the things. And it's offensive if you say the things to a woman that could be misconstrued as helpful.
Or do the things.
Or
it's
do the
also
things.
doing the things because they see it as benevolent sexism.
Give me a break.
It's benevolent sexism, Mock. That's what it is. Like opening the door for people or, holding their shopping bags or driving long distances or doing those sorts of things that are just nice.
Right.
It's just nice things.
I mean, when we go anywhere, you always drive.
I know. So I'm apparently like... I'm the patriarchy.
I guess
somehow.
so.
I don't know.
Yes, you are the. You personally are the patriarchy.
I just do it because I know you're a terrible driver.
It's not true.
I don't want to die.
I just don't like driving. It's not the same as being bad at it.
It's actually true. It's all true. It's totally okay.
I want to give a perfect example. This is something that I saw on Twitter yesterday. There is a woman on Twitter by the name of Caroline Rothstein.
She's of the Rothstein family. She's of the Rothsteins.
She's of the dynasty of the
Rothsteins.
I mean, she's probably not in a dynasty, but that name sounds very dynastic.
She probably thinks she is.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, she is blue checkmarked. Her bio says, internationally touring writer, poet, performer, educator. That's the scary part.
Yes.
Work in Marie Claire, Cosmopolitan, Narratively, BuzzFeed, Nylon, et al. And then she says she/her.
Oh.
She wants to be very clear about her pronouns.
Oh, of course. She has to use the
up.
correct pronouns. Look at her. She's so woke. So woke. Look at her go. Okay, we don't know what kind of educator she is.
I'm a little afraid to find out.
But she wants to educate men on how to treat women, apparently, which is to not be nice to them.
Apparently so, because listen to how brave she is, you guys. She's so brave.
So brave.
She tweeted, and I quote, saying, "No thank you, I got it," to the middle-aged white man on the airplane who offered and began to take my suitcase out of the overhead compartment for me was a quickly calculated act of resistance.
Hashtag resist. Hashtag resist. God, these women.
Are you serious?
So she's so brave because this guy offered to help her with her bag in the overhead compartment. And so she hashtag resisted by saying, no thanks.
No thank you, I got it.
I got the bag. So this guy is a sexist, right?
Totally.
For offering to help her with the bag. And she said, no thanks, I got it.
It was something to resist against.
So this is her being brave now because this guy offered to help her. Now, what if a woman offered to help? What would happen? Is that somehow, is that also sexist?
I'm guessing she she's obviously very capable of managing her own luggage.
Because I do that. Sometimes if some chick, can't handle her own crap and she's just in my way and she's not quick enough, I will offer to help because that's happened on planes. Because I'm like, you're holding up the line. I want to get out of here. I got a flight to catch. Or I got a connection flight, I will offer to help. So what does that make me? Again, am I driving? Am I, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you're probably not. If this were her, if it was a woman that was offering her help, she would have probably said, I'm guessing, because she's obviously able to handle her luggage, she would have said, no thanks, I've got it. But then she wouldn't have immediately taken to Twitter to talk about the sex of the person, the race of the person, and the fact that she resisted some horrible demonstration of patriarchy. But that is what she did.
Benevolent sexism. Yeah.
The fact that she had to even point out that the guy was middle-aged and that it was a guy that was white.
Yeah.
I don't understand why those two things are even factored into this act of resistance,
Okay.
or what she was resisting except for kindness.
Yeah. Now, I will say that that she was ratioed in that tweet.
Oh my God, so hard.
Thank goodness.
So
because
hard.
I feel like nowadays men are less likely to open doors and stuff like that because they're afraid that women are going to be jerks like her.
Yeah. And I hate that.
I hate it,
I mean,
too.
as someone who appreciates that kind of kindness and that kind of chivalry and that kind of man.
And I go out of my way when a man opens a door for me, or they hold an elevator for me, or they do any of that kind of stuff. I go out of my way to thank them up and down because I want to make sure that they understand that there are still women out here who are super appreciative of that, because I love it. And I know that you teach your boy to be that way. And my husband, he opens the car door for me. I mean, it's like, I want men to still be like that. I know there are men out there who are still like that and who are raised to be that way. And I
hate how often they get shot down.
I hate it too.
The fact that this woman even feels like it was something to resist against, and that's why I was glad that her tweet was so ratioed, because it was men and women alike. Lots of women spoke up and were saying this, and I love Ashley St. Clair, for example. She said, and this tweet was a quickly calculated act of bitchiness.
Yeah,
the poor guy was just trying to be nice.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that we can't be empowered on our own. It doesn't mean we can't own our own businesses. It doesn't mean we can't do our own thing. It doesn't mean anything except for the fact that this guy wanted to do something that was nice.
He just wanted to help. That's it. And apparently that is now something that feminists have to rail against and resist against, and then go to Twitter to talk about their quick act of a quickly calculated act of resistance.
Well, you're not brave.
My gosh.
You're just a jerk.
I mean, and what does that say about her, really? That she's putting herself out there as a victim of something to resist against.
Yeah.
So she's basically saying, I can't handle when a guy offers me help.
When a guy's nice.
How is it empowering to put yourself out there as a victim of something that requires resistance just because someone was trying to help you?
Maybe she should spend some time with the real victim.
Yeah. I'm stunned that this is something that she thinks is at all Twitter worthy, right?
Get a grip.
I mean, and she's real proud of it, and that she took time to think about writing it and thought, I'm going to talk about my bravery and my courage.
So brave.
Oh my God.
So brave.
Also, just kind of speaking of women and women's rights and like women in general, there was an interesting article that I saw about Trump, who currently has 7 women serving as senior White House advisors, which is more, by the way, than any of the 3 past presidents.
But
I know.
But he hates women. That's what MSNBC and CNN.
He probably just wants to grab them all.
Really?
That's what
is that what it
liberals would
is?
say. He just wants to grab them all.
Yeah, that's what it is.
By the area.
That's so weird, because this is what they tell us.
I know.
So it's odd that he has 7 women as senior White House advisors when Obama didn't have that. Yeah. So that's really weird.
It's so weird.
So weird, Mark.
Also, we talked not terribly long ago about Victoria's Secret, because their president, this was like a year ago, or not even, their CMO, their chief marketing officer, had said to Vogue specifically that they were not ever going to get woke and put a trans person on their runway.
Okay, so trans person, meaning we're talking about a person who was born as a man,
right,
and then became a woman, or
is presenting as a woman, or living as a woman, identifying. There's the word, identifying. As a woman.
So they still have like man parts. This person,
maybe. Some of them go to the surgery. They lop those off.
But we don't know for sure.
We don't know.
All right.
So in any case, he made a big statement at that point saying, listen, we're not gonna kowtow to social justice warriors. There's we have a brand. We have a very specific brand, and we're not gonna, we market to a specific clientele.
Yeah,
to
women.
And
women.
And the models that we use are aspirational, right? I mean, I certainly look at them that way.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I'm never going to look like that. But
they're nice to look at.
They're nice to look at. Yeah, and everybody, like the Victoria's Secret model is pretty. You see, what they're going to look like.
Right. Well, not anymore, because they have just decided to go completely against what they said last year, and they've just hired their very first transgender model. Her name is Valentina Sampaio, and I saw some photos. It's a very attractive person, and not somebody that you would look at immediately and suspect they weren't born female.
So does this person look like kind of a Giselle Bundchen sort of esque? You know, like the long legs and the long limbs and the model, the Victoria's Secret angel look.
Yeah, I think so. Now,
really?
and everybody, I think so. Now, I showed the pictures
Did
to
you
my
look
husband.
at the person really closely? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I wanted to get a guy's perspective, and now it's to the point now, like if I ever show my husband a photo of a model, he instantly thinks I'm trying to trick him. You know what I mean? Like he's like, is that a dude?
Is that a dude or is it a woman? What is that?
So I can't even use that as an example anymore. I tried, but he was like, I don't think she's all that attractive. I don't think he instantly thought it was a man though.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has happened. So this, and of course they're getting roundly, applauded for this amazing bravery that they're now going to have a biological male who presents
it brave?
as
How is this brave?
Know.
Going to war is brave.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is not brave. This is walking on a stage with wings. This is not...
And $1 million bra.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just not brave. It's putting sparklies on your boobs. It's not brave. We need to quit saying that so much. Because it's not.
Well, it ties along with Caroline Rothstein's, calculated resistance.
You're not brave. So stop it. All right? Just stop. You guys, stay with us.
Hammer and